Well, hello everyone. Hello there. How is everyone this very fine evening? How are we? Good to see you all in the chat there. So good of you to join us tonight. Wow, 38 viewers already watching live. How good is that? You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And yeah, we've got a great night coming up for all of you. And of particular interest for myself, really, because I want to hear all your thoughts about what I should be doing with our Teslas ahead of, I guess, impending Model Y launch in Australia. I'm not here to tell you when it's going to arrive, but it will certainly arrive sometime in this country, eventually. And as you can see behind us here, this way, we've got two Teslas at home, so we're going to, I guess I need to hear what your thoughts are about what I should do with them. Maybe I shouldn't do anything at all. Maybe I should just keep them both. We shall see. Anyway, tonight is the night to display to show me what you want me to do with the cars. And yeah, I'm open for all discussion tonight. So let's say hello to a few people here. I can see lots of people on the chat already. Let's say hello to our members. Gaffer is one of our members. Indeed. What shall we do? Hey, Gaffer. Good to see you there. Alicia's on. Alicia's also one of my members. Hi, Alicia. Nice to see you there. Indeed. We've got George, one of our regulars there. Hey, George. Nice to see you. Also, Tesla Fanatic. Also, I recognize that name. Hello there. We've got Andrew. Hello there. Andrew says, wait for the new Model S. Yep. Thank you for that. Paul says, hello, Tom, and all in all. Afnan says, excited. Thanks for joining us. Got Riz there, Riz Akhtar. Hey everyone from Melbourne. And in fact, we might actually have Riz on very later on this show, very later on tonight. We'll explain why in a second. We'll get Riz on the chat and on the live stream too. So yeah, hang around for that. Sammy's from Canberra. Hello there. Peter Cook says, I'll be 15 minutes late. Got to reach CCS1 charger at Fairmeadow. Peter's also one of our members, and he's also a Uber driver with his Model 3 there. Thanks for joining us, Peter. Ray says, Faye's home and I can enjoy LF. Thanks, Ray. And great to hear Faye's doing better as well. That's great. Got Diesel Webster from Cooper PD. And Greg, also one of our members, says hello all. That's good. Or hi all. Thank you. And Louise says good evening as well. Yeah. And, Greg says, what's Kia thinking with the new Nero? Yeah, I'm going to have to look at that maybe on another episode there, Greg. Yeah. Thanks for that. And, yeah, Paul says, hope I'm avoiding being wet. Yes, it's all very wet on the East Coast at the moment. Yeah. Kyle Burt, I have already bought number plates TE5LAA, just waiting for the Model Y to come out. That's awesome. That's a nice plate there. That's cool. Nathan says, g'day all, just picked up my new Tesla Model S long range yesterday. Congratulations. Congratulations there. And Riz says, apparently waiting German regulators to open up Berlin. Yes, I read that today. Yes. Once they give us the all clear for Berlin in Germany, then who knows, maybe that's when they'll drop Model Y order page in Australia. There you go. We shall see, eh? Tesla Fanatic, let's go. I'm excited. Can't wait. I can finally watch all your videos, Tom, after finishing all my schoolwork for the year. Hey, congratulations. Well done. Congratulations for finishing 2021. That's awesome. JJ, good evening from the Gold Coast. That's awesome. Well, I might just say welcome. Where are you watching from? If you're watching live, nice to see you on the chat there. And tonight's question we're asking, for how long will you be keeping your car, regardless of what it is, whether it's an ICE or an EV? I want you to tell me in the chat there how long you intend to keep your current vehicle for before you plan to sell it. Maybe say that in the comment as well, if you're comment section as well, if you are watching on replay. And yeah, welcome to all our live viewers as well as our people on replay. That's great. And if you want to support Tesla Tom's Ludicrous Feed, my YouTube channel, make sure you think about buying a super chat, comment, or message. And also there are channel membership options as well, which I'll show you in a second. And of course, you can support us via PayPal as well. And I'll just show you quickly the channel membership options here, as I always do on these live streams. So here we go. Oop, not that one. Done that one already. So we want to do this one. So yeah, ludicrousfeed.com is where you'll see my membership options, as well as that big join button. You'll see options there. So we've got 3 membership plans at the moment: standard range, long range, and performance. Standard range starts at $3.99 per month. Long range $6.99 a month. Performance $9.99 a month. Everyone gets loyalty badges depending on how long you've been a member for. Exclusive access to emojis. You might have seen some of the emojis already in the live chat there. Some of our members already use them. Long range members get priority replies during live streams because we do get a lot of comments during our streams. And also performance members get exclusive member-only polls to help improve the channel. So think about membership today. That big join button will help you get there. Alrighty, let's take some more comments before we get on tonight's topic. And I can already see, yes, Paul has joined. Paul Leopardi is now a member. Congratulations, Paul. Thank you so much for supporting Ludicrous Feed. So thank you very much. Can't thank you enough. Paul is one of our members. That's awesome. Thank you, Paul. All right, well, let's put up this slide here, and I want to show you my two cars, and then you can help me decide. I might even put up a poll as well tonight as to what you guys think I should be doing with both vehicles ahead of Model Y coming to Australia eventually, I guess. All right, so let's have a look here. All right, so here we go. So this is what I've got currently. These are my two cars at the moment. As you can see there, so we've got currently a Tesla Model S, a Model S 70D, blue colored as well, and a 2019 Performance Model 3, which is red. And the Model S from 2015 is now 6 years old. It's got 95,000 kilometers on the clock. It's got free lifetime supercharging. It's got MCU2 and it's AP1 enabled, and it's ceramic coated as well. And we've got a Performance Model 3 that's 2019. It's got 30,000 kilometers, free lifetime premium connectivity, and it's got hardware 3 full self-driving enabled. And it's also ceramic coated as well. So that, I guess, is what lies ahead of me. A difficult decision as to which car to offload. I mean, I guess the other option is I don't offload them. I could just actually keep them both and buy the Model Y as well. And then I guess the dilemma is what do I do with it? I guess I can put it on a car sharing platform like EV. Yeah, indeed. I can see Gaffer I think Gaffer's already a member, but he's upgraded to performance. Thank you, Gaffer. Really appreciate that. That's great. Really, really appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you. Gaffer's one of our long-standing members. He's been there almost since from the beginning, so thank you for that, Gaffer. Thank you. There we go. Gaffer became a YouTube member. I guess it should say upgraded to performance. Let's take some more questions. Here we go. So Louise Morton, what does your wife want to sell? Yeah, I'll tell you what Joy wants to do. She is thinking I should sell the Tesla Model S. As much as it pains me, I think she's keen to have a car that's got newer tech. So that's her thinking, because she wants to drive the Model Y. She likes being higher up on the road. So that's a fair call. And as much as that pains me, yeah, I guess at the moment I'm leaning towards selling the Model S, but again, open to all options. Kiwi EV Watcher upgrade every 2 years. Currently driving a 2012 PHEV. Wow, 2 years. That's great. I guess the shortest time I've owned a car is I think probably 3 years, maybe 4 years. Yeah, I do tend to keep mine a bit longer than that. Wow. Thingo says I'm keeping my ordered Model 3 until I meet my maker. Wow. Thingo, that's awesome. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, it should last a long time, right? Model 3. Yeah, certainly a lot of cars on the road now. Everywhere I'm driving, I'm seeing Teslas. Max Gill. Today I drove both the Polestar 2 and Model 3 long range for comparison. A hard decision what to buy since both have unique features that the other one doesn't have. Very true. Very true. Tesla Tom's Ludicrous Feed. Ray Johnson, what's the range on the Model S? Yep, so 100%. I've been charging to 100% more regularly because my driveway is still under construction. And I think it's 340 kilometers for 100%. Around that figure anyway. Yep. Yeah, Paul makes a good point. Teslas are not like ICE cars, much less to wear out. Yep. Let's, in fact, let's do a poll now, actually. got everyone here. Let's do a poll. Let's go, what should I do with my Teslas? So I'll put option 1, sell. Hang on, what should I do with before? Hang on, not with my Teslas. Before I order, before I eventually buy Model Y. So sell Model S, sell Model 3, sell both, and then I'll put don't sell either. There you go. That's tonight's poll. I want to hear your thoughts. There we go. There we go. Ray is saying sell the Model S. Interesting. Any reason, Ray? And Greg Wilson, I would look at some of the long-term reviews of the Model S and see how much some of the out-of-warranty issues could be, given the S is based on a lot of Merc Chrysler parts. Not sure on long-term. Yep, also a good point, Greg. It's been 6 years now in my possession, almost 6 years. So, yeah, that's something I'll be looking at for sure, long-term. Well, Blur Boy asks, how's the resale value? Well, that's why we've got tonight's episode, because we will be discussing that. To discuss resale value as well as talk about what to do with my cars. Yeah, very exciting tonight's talk. Ray says 90% will say sell the Model S. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Ray. I think probably for that reason that Greg mentioned about the fact that we're not sure about the long-term issues for the older Model S. I mean, so far for me, it's held up pretty well. I've got the full service record for the Model S and nothing significant yet. I guess the MCU one was the major issue, which is now rectified. Because now we've got the MCU 2 upgraded. Yep. Gaffer, my Model 3 P- is the ship of Theseus. Yes. Now, I had to look this up the other day when Gaffer mentioned this. This is like, now correct me if I'm wrong, Gaffer. It's the ship of Theseus is a ship that it was some point made in the past about the fact that if you reassemble a ship or upgrade the ship over time, is it still the same ship, right? Is that right? From the last time I looked this up. So thank you, Gaffer. Ray says sell because of the range, the tech, and the app. Also a good point. Greg says, what is the max charging speed of the S? Well, this is the thing. Because I've been supercharging for a while, I have noticed the charging speed is slow. Like I think it gets to about, I want to say 75 kilowatts at about 30% state of charge, and it does slow down to like 30, 35 when you get to like 60%. So it's a lot slower than the Model 3, that's for sure. But to offset that, I guess we've got free lifetime supercharging for the life of this vehicle. And I guess the other option is if I do sell the Model S, the quick and easy option would be to just trade in, right? Trade in the Model S with Tesla. But the thing is, if I trade in, I will lose the person who gets the car after me will lose the free lifetime supercharging. If I sell it privately, my understanding is that the next person will get the free lifetime supercharging as well. So that's something I've got to consider. Obviously, to help the community, if somebody really wants a Tesla Model S, then they could buy it off me privately. If I just want a quick and easy sell, I just handball it back to Tesla, I guess. So something else to consider ahead of the Model Y launch, I guess. JJ, Model 3 and Y are very similar. Keep Model S and sell Model 3 free supercharging for life. Yep. That was certainly my thought initially. And yeah, I mean, the Model S is unique, of course. But I guess, the other issue is, now I guess is a good time to sell the Model S, as we'll find out very soon from one of our viewers, Riz, who is going to come on and chat to us about the resale value of Teslas, given his line of work. But yeah, that's certainly something I want to consider because of that free supercharging for life. Having said that, if I get a Model Y, I'd probably use that car for road tripping as well. So you see my dilemma. I can see benefits to both sides. Serious debating. Sophie George asks, did you buy your Model S new or used, and how much did it cost? Well, I bought it secondhand in 2016, and cost me at the time it was 125k. So in a second I'll tell you how much I think we can fetch the Model S for if we do sell it. But yeah, 125k back in 2016, mid 2016. Yeah. Granton, what's on the table for replacement? Yeah, Granton, thanks for joining us. We are talking tonight. I guess if I were to buy a Tesla Model Y, which I'm going to, that's a given. We're going to buy one. I'm going to order one. Then what do? Do I sell the S or do I sell the Y? And I guess now's a good segue to basically welcome our new viewers. We've got 71 viewers at the moment. That's great, guys and girls. Thanks for joining us. Tell me where you're watching from if you've just joined us in the chat box there. And tonight's question we're asking, for how long will you be keeping your current car, whether it's an ICE car or an EV, it doesn't matter. Let me know. And make sure you think about supporting Tesla Tom's Ludicrous Feed, my YouTube channel, either buying a super chat message or comment. And we've got channel membership options as well. So have a look at that. Press the join button. You'll find out what they are. And of course, think about anonymously supporting us through @TeslaTom on PayPal. So thank you very much, everyone who's just joined us on the chat there. Let's take some more comments here. So Gaffer says, too many bonuses, LTE forever, won't be subject to EV road tax, 5k purchased, FSD purchased with it. Too many good things to lose about it. Are you talking about the Model S, or are you talking about the Model 3? Which one? Dennis says, sell Model S while second-hand market is hot and no new Model S is available to buy. Yes, that's what's driving at the moment me to sell the Model S, because the prices are very good. I guess the other option too is that what do I do? Because I do need a car. I need a car to get around. Like, I can't rely on public transport given where I live. So, you know, what do I rent another Tesla? I mean, the thing is, if I rent one, then I have to pay money for the next 6 months or whatever it is that I have to wait for the Y, hence negating selling it early. Do I rely on car companies to lend me cars to review for the next 6 months? That would be awesome, right? That'd probably be the ideal thing. But yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. I don't know what to do if I do sell the S, which has got good resale at the moment. Paul is saying, I'm wondering when the robo-taxis are switching on. Maybe you can make money from your cars. Your Model S is probably never going to be a robo-taxi, but the Model 3 might be someday. Yes, that's a good point, Paul. Yes, and that's, again, having the full self-driving on the 3 is, again, it's drawing me towards keeping the Model 3, having that FSD there, for sure. Louise says, can you replace the battery in the Model S? What else could you upgrade in it to extend its life and make you keep it? You can replace the battery. At the moment, I don't need to. The range is pretty much the same as what it was when I first got it. You can, I mean, I suppose you could no, that's not true. I've tried asking Tesla to upgrade the computer to FSD, hardware 3. They say it can't be done. So that's a little bit disappointing that it cannot be upgraded to hardware 3. That's, again, yeah, that's sort of making me lean towards keeping the Model 3. For that reason. Granted, I would think timing for sale would be influenced by what's happening with the replacement Model Y, another Model S, X, some other brand. Yeah, exactly, Granton. Exactly right. I mean, the family does want a Y, so I guess that's what we're waiting for. And yeah, I guess what's influencing me to sell now is the fact the used car market pricing is very good at the moment. Greg, what is the rough going price? Yep, we'll talk about that in 1 second. Ben Social, I've been told by Tesla, there we go, that my free lifetime supercharging on my X will expire when I sell it. However, I believe there were earlier cars that the free supercharging will stay fixed to forever. I thought that if you sold it privately, your supercharging will be given to the next person. But if you sell it to Tesla, it won't be. So I mean, when I got my car secondhand, that was transferred, but that was back in 2016. So I'd probably have to check that. Hey, if you've recently sold a Tesla, by the way, let me know if your free supercharging was transferred over. Peter Cook, welcome back, Peter. I'm keeping my SR Plus indefinitely. In a decade or so, I'll have a cousin just old enough to need a car. Even a degraded 800,000 kilometer plus one 2020 Model 3. Yep, that's a very good point there. Yep. Paul, welcome. Says sell the S. Okay. Just can't. Why not build a collection? Get the Y and X. Build a bigger garage. Yeah. I mean, you know, if funds were unlimited, I certainly would, for sure. Granton says, watching from Orange, my Model 3 is on a lease for 5 years, expiry March 2026. Yeah, well, that's the thing. With the Y, I guess I have to speak to my accountant on what to do, whether what's the best option moving forward. And now that the car is actually potentially a tax deductible option, given now that, you know, the YouTube channel is a income generating source, the cars, I have to speak to him about that, about whether I can, what's the best option moving forward to make the cars part of the business. Paul is from Canberra. He wants to keep it for at least 8 years, hopefully 10. Tesla Model 3 SR Plus. Yep. Aussie astronaut keeping my Model 3 until Cybertruck arrives. Woohoo. Awesome. Paul says, plan to sell my S and upgrade to long range. Granton, never buying ICE again. Gaffer has a Model 3 Model 3 Performance minus, same as you got. Yep, thank you. Matty, how did you ever end up fitting the auto frunk on the 3? Also, where did you get those kits, please? Yes, that's a Hansho kit. I still have it in the garage. I actually want to install it for the Y, but I'll see if that's actually Y compatible. If not, I'll just install it on the 3. Blur Boy, my partner's still on the fence on Tesla, but my apartment building just announced they would charge $15 per charging flat rate. Okay. $15 if you have a full charge might be worth it, I guess. Certainly wouldn't be topping up every night. I'd be waiting, and maybe if you can book your charging spot like at a set time every week, that might be worth $15, I guess. And Model Y looks appealing for sure. Albert, I know Albert's got an S. The only reason I'm keeping my S is because of the ride comfort from the air suspension. Thank you, Albert. Controversial. I would not bank on the Cybertruck ever arriving in Australia. Wow, controversial. Yeah, that's a good point, Ray. Ask Nash for the Canberra car. Maybe I should speak to Nash. I mean, I'm very good friends with him. Maybe he could give me mates rate on that, hey? Good point there, Ray. Thank you. Would be cool if you could get a short-term lease Ioniq 5 or something. Hey, maybe I should speak to Hyundai. I'm good friends with those guys now. Maybe, hey? Keep it for 6 months. We'll see. That's a good point, Grattan. Thank you. Peter Cook, Uber has a 10-year age limit but no kilometre limit. The grandfathered no road tax will be huge for me. I wonder if I can put LFP base or long-range NCA batteries under my SR Plus someday. Yeah, Greg makes a good point. Tesla did a big internal update on the S around 2018, 2019. They would be more desirable. Absolutely, for sure. Also, 2015 is coming up to 8 years. That might scare off people spending over 80k. Yep, good point. Good point. All good points, by the way. Thank you, guys and girls. Riz, maybe time to reconsider purchasing a Roadster. Yeah, absolutely, right? Dennis, yeah, this is a good point. S would be a good investment for an Uber driver. That's a really good point. That's a really good point, actually. Yeah, Peter says car deductions don't work that way. You have to work out a business use. Yep, that's true, Peter. Yes, I've heard that too. So I have to speak to my accountant about that. Thanks, Jez, for the $1 donation. Thank you very much. New garage fund added to the kitty there. All right, so, well, I'm going to update you guys on the... just update you guys on the poll. We've got 44 votes so far. The question I am asking tonight, what should I do before I eventually buy Model Y? 61% of you are telling me to sell Model S, and 18% are saying sell the Model 3, 7% saying sell both, 14% saying don't sell either. There we go. Well, at this point, I might actually see if Riz is available, Riz Akhtar, one of our members, and see if he wants to come on and chat to me about his business. And yeah, he will give us a better indication of the current resale pricing with Tesla as part of a general discussion about resale value in Australia. And yeah, I'll wait for Riz to come on to chat about that. But I'll leave the screen up here. This is my current situation with my Tesla Model S and Tesla Model 3. These are the two cars I currently own behind me there, the blue one and the red one. And the question I am asking your help with tonight, guys, is, and girls, what do I do with either cars? I'd probably want to offload one of them at least, either the blue one or the red one. And I'm leaning towards the blue one. Happy to take options about the red one. But yeah, I think blue is kind of where I'm heading towards, selling the blue Model S, particularly very soon because the prices are good at the moment. All right, well, I can see Riz on in my studio at the moment, so I might just remove that and just share 1 second. And I want to share something to show you guys. This is very exciting. Riz has been very kind enough to show me this screen today. But I'll get Riz on in 1 second. You ready, Riz? He's going to nod his head, I'm sure. Yep, thumbs up. Here we go. All right. Riz Akhtar. Hello, Riz.
Hey, Tom. How are we?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, no worries at all. Exciting.
Yeah. Riz, tell us a little bit about your startup or your business.
Yeah, so I've got a startup called Carloop, and what we do is we monitor prices and trends for new cars, particularly moving more into new energy vehicles. So Teslas, electric cars, plug-in hybrids, sort of monitoring the trends on what's sort of being taken up by everyday Australians, and then more around prices, what colors people are choosing, be able to track sort of the history or life of a car. And that's some of the things that we'll sort of touch on later on, especially when it comes to resale values and if it's a good time to sell your Tesla or potentially considering buying a used Tesla and what all of that sort of means. And lucky enough to buy a new Model 3 Performance a couple of months ago and happened to get another SR not too long after that. So I've got two Teslas, loving him, and yeah, happy to be here.
Awesome. Now that's really good to hear, and congratulations, of course, on those Teslas. Now, yeah, I think we've been liaising a lot just before this episode, and you've been telling me that obviously Tesla used car prices are pretty hot at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what it's looking like. Given the demand factor with COVID, with everything else, if the ICE car prices are where they are, where some people are waiting up to 12 months for a RAV4 hybrid,
Mm.
it's sort of the same for electric cars, given, I guess, the shortage on Ionic 5, which a lot of people are waiting for, and the Kia EV6, which you went through on one of the recent live streams as well. And with Teslas, the way everything is going, some of the stuff that we've monitored with our data is showing that within the last year and a half, most of the cars that have come into the country have been Model 3s, of course. And given, we sort of touch base on your Model S and what to do with it, it sort of seems that there's probably not going to be many deliveries till the end of 2022. And what that sort of means is you're going to, it's just a desirable car. If you can transfer that lifetime supercharging across, that would be awesome. If it disappears, there's plenty of interested buyers that are happy to charge it at home. So I don't think it's a major factor in their purchasing decision, given it's still a Tesla Model S.
Yep. Yeah, I think you make a good point there because as you said, the Plaid probably won't be coming to Australia, or at least be delivered to Australia until late 2022. So, I guess I may actually have some time, even if the Y comes before, which it probably will. Probably
Mhm.
will. The order page will open before then. It might be safe. Do you think?
Yeah, I think the Model Y is, I'd say probably, April or May. I'm not
Mm.
Rita, who knows it all in terms when it comes to, obviously tracking cars and the rest. But from the reports that we're sort of seeing and sharing with each other,
Mm.
it seems that as soon as this sort of get Giga Berlin open,
Mm.
frees up space in Shanghai, and then that way we'll start to get some deliveries of that. I also saw earlier in the week that Shanghai may be starting production of Model S's by April. So I need to confirm that, but I'm pretty sure there was a tweet by Elon or something like that around the Shanghai Gigafactory starting production for the Model S
Mm.
in April, which probably will be for US orders first before it comes sort of our stock gets here. And a lot of people have been told end of 2022. So the time between now and sort of March, April would be a good time to sell. And
Mm.
one of the other factors that we're sort of considering with some of the insights and data that we're seeing from different sources, it's showing that the sentiment's very high around electric cars at the moment, particularly approaching our election. And there's a lot of interest,
Mm.
and there's a lot of people that are still sort of stuck here and not going anywhere else, have spare cash, and they might as well give a 2015 Model S a go.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good point there. I'm always keen to. I was hoping someone would offer me a price today, and maybe I could just sell it on the spot. But But like before we get into the slides that you very kindly drew up for me, I mean you've got a lot of data. Like you've told me you know exactly, well, very close to exactly how many cars are sold, and what colors people even choose, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah, so I started collecting data about 3 years ago when I first started this startup company. And this year has been phenomenal where we're connecting many different data sources, including state and territory government registration data, as well as some shipping information and crowdsourcing a lot of that information from various different channels where people are talking about these, whether it's Facebook, forums, and other things. And we've got algorithms that are able to process that and figure out the sentiment on where things are going and trying to combine multiple sources. But what I'm really interested in is sort of, talking to real owners and prospective buyers so that, we've got millions of data points around new energy vehicles alone, but that's just tells you part of the story. And what I'm really interested in is knowing what real owners and obviously your audience and the people in the chat, what do they think around resale values, and is that something that they're concerned with? I had a very interesting chat. I was charging my Tesla at one of the EV superchargers, and another gentleman pulled up in his Tesla, and he was intrigued by the car, and we were having a chat, and he sort of asked me, he's like, do you worry about how many kilometers you drive a year? And I was like, well, that's an interesting question. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, even with this performance or my long range, I sometimes am worried whether I should just drive my ICE car over this if I'm if I'm going down the road where I don't want to put too many kilometers on it because that may impact the resale value.
Wow.
And that sort of got me thinking, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I wonder if I
Yeah.
can tell a story with some of the data that we have
Yes.
to then be able to sort of alleviate some of the problems and things that people think about. And I think about it sometimes as well, but more, I just love driving the Tesla, so I
Yeah.
do it anyway.
Yeah. That was my. I mean, I thought that straight away. Like I would, despite the resale value, I would drive the Tesla anyway, just because I enjoy it so much, like yourself. Actually, here's the question you just answered for someone here. They asked you how are you tracking purchasing stats? I guess you've already answered that through an algorithm. Do you have access to Tesla numbers, or are you just asking people to volunteer that info? Yeah, I think you sort of covered that already.
Yeah, it's sort of a combination. We do have access to uh, pretty much all Tesla sales in the country, as well as what colors, whether people are choosing the FSD package or not. So that's some of the things that I've heard a fair few times. Tom, you've sort of spoken about that. One of the top tips you give people is try and avoid getting the FSD package because you can always get it later.
Yep.
But I'll have to do some further sort of analysis through the data to see how many people actually take that advice and how many are just not aware of it, so they buy it while they're making the purchasing decision. So we see all of those type of things, including sometimes we can even tell whether it's got the white leather uh, instead of, I guess, the standard black one, and then different colors, different battery packs, those type of things are as well in some of the Tesla data sets.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to put up this slide here that you shared with us very kindly, and I'll just add it to the stream. There we go. So, for those of you who want to join with us at home, I'll just put the link to this website here, and you can join along with what we're discussing. So Riz has got information about, this is the Tesla Model 3 slide. We've got one for Model S as well. And he's got some data points here for 4 vehicles. There's a 2019 black Model 3 SR Plus in New South Wales, which is, let me see, this is the purple line here.
Yeah.
Let's walk us through that there, Riz.
Yep. So this particular vehicle was purchased new in the fourth quarter of 2019 for $71,073. From there, it was sold by that owner. And it was around, I think, 35,000 kilometers based on the data point that we saw. And when it was sold, I believe this car was traded in. And
Okay.
this was traded, and the reason why we can sort of tell that it was traded is how quickly it was sold after that. So within a month or two, at the same kilometers, it was flipped basically. So it was traded in to wherever it was. The dealer then sold it at the same kilometers. That's why we have the third data point there. So it's gone. The price has gone from, I think it was 50. That's yeah,
57.
that one.
Yep.
Yeah, from 57,770. The
Yep.
dealer then sold it for 71 or 75,600.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
So some of the details that I can see around how quickly these dealers are flipping cars and the margins they're making, it just goes to show how popular Teslas are. And some people, and what's hard for us to see is what the demand was at that time. The wait could have been 12 weeks, and maybe that's why the person that purchased it paid the price that they did, that the dealer was asking, around 75,000,
Yep.
because they didn't want to wait.
Can you tell whether this person bought FSD package from its original purchase price?
This one, from the looks of things, I don't think they did.
That's pretty
From
good
the original purchase price.
Yeah.
It gets easier when you've got some of the performance models, because some of the highest prices that we see in our data set has been close to 120 grand.
Wow.
And you can sort of tell that that would be like a white Model 3 performance with a $10,000 package on top of that, which brings it to about 120 grand prior to the price drops that we've seen this year.
Yep. And you've predicted this vehicle is this dotted line here currently, or like a few months ago?
That's right. So we're predicting based on some of the recent changes in New South Wales around stamp duty. What that's showing is, people are able to purchase a new one for pretty close to $60,000 now, I believe.
Yep.
For an SR Plus, or sorry, the Model 3 base.
Yep.
So based on that, but if people are still going to be waiting about, what is it, 4 to 8 weeks, I believe it, or maybe it's 1 to 4 weeks at the moment. If people are waiting for that, some of the other data is telling us that there's cars that are being sold that are under that 35,000 kilometer mark, that are around 60,000 still, because people can get them straight away.
Yep.
Whereas that car with the kilometers on it is probably close to under 60,000. It would still sell pretty quickly.
Yep. Yeah, especially there's very limited supply for sure. Well, I guess of interest to me is this one up here, this red Model 3 Performance. This is basically our car, really. 2019 red Performance Model 3, New South Wales. Looks like it was bought secondhand, Q4.
Yeah, so this particular one was bought, I believe, brand new for 110,000.
And sold secondhand.
And then sold secondhand with 17,000 kilometers in Q1 2021. And that was that sort of, we can see from 110 to about $94,000, which is not too bad given the amount of kilometers on the car. But I guess what we're seeing is, if we sort of look at the blue one, which is the 2019 Model 3 long range, the price drop on that car is significantly more, given the kilometers are roughly the same. But from what we can see, there's a lot more interest in the Model 3 Performance. I guess it's especially one in red. People are quite interested in that sort of car, because that's used, as you know, quite frequently in Tesla's, not so much marketing, but on their main website. And it's an awesome color.
Yep.
And obviously we can see one in the picture there.
Yes, that's right. I mean, where do you think this, where do you think my car our car would sit now if we were to sell it in Q3 or Q4 2021?
I guess with around 30,000 Ks on it, probably still around 89 to 91,000. that
Yep.
would be a fair and reasonable price for a Model 3 Performance, especially a 2019 one in red.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, look, I guess as you said, the prices are either plateauing or going up in some variants, given the
Um,
supply.
yeah, and just one quick thing worth noting: if you do buy a second-hand, well, pretty much any car,
Mm.
you in most states you still have to pay stamp duty. So the owner that may, let's say, I'm not sure what the rules are in New South Wales, but in Victoria, for example, where I'm based, if you were to purchase that car, you would probably pay around $4,000 of stamp duty on top of that. So let's say it's sold in quarter four for 90,000, then the new owner would end up going to Vic Roads and paying another 4 odd grand of stamp duty on top of
Mm.
that. So their total cost would be around 94,000 for that car.
Yeah, that's right. Well, same in New South Wales. I think our cutoff now is 78 grand for an EV for stamp
Hmm.
duty. So, I mean, for a car like that, you'd have to pay, on top of that, whatever it is, the stamp duty. Although we'd be exempt from the road tax later on down the track. So that's the New South Wales rule. Yep.
Hmm.
Well, that's the Model 3 data. Let's I might have a look at the next slide, which is
Yeah.
the Model S resale trends, and this is what I'm also very interested in. And you've got a few examples there. Do you want to walk us through? Let's walk us through this one here. This is, I guess, pretty much my same example as my car currently. Model S 70. Oh, this one is 70D, about
Yeah.
81,000 kilometers from 2015.
Yeah, so this was interesting because when you sort of mentioned that's your sort of car at the moment and it's around 95,000 kilometers, this was the closest example I could find to it. And this was in New South Wales, 70D in white, not blue, but purchased new for around 139,000. And I believe you mentioned earlier you paid 120 something,
Yeah, 125, I think it was back then.
which is 13,000 to $14,000 off the price anyway to begin with.
Mm.
And this was sold only a couple of 2 months ago at with 81,000 kilometers on it for around about 70,000.
Hmm.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, around about 70,000 for that car.
Mm.
Obviously, white is it's sometimes hard to tell the conditions of the cars because we don't see that in the data itself. It might not have been treated very well. Like I know you really look after your cars, Tom.
Mm.
So without seeing the actual pictures of the car, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But there is other examples that with slightly more kilometers, so 2016 model cars with slightly more kilometers that are worth a little bit more. But yeah, between 70 and $75,000 at the moment for any Model S with under 100,000 kilometers would be sort of the right price point, and you should get that fairly easily.
Mm. I mean, I guess the question I want to ask you is like, what is there anything at all that helps the value? Like, for example, like if you've ceramic coated the car, if you wrapped the car, or if you've added a tow bar or whatever, some other accessory or auto front, does that help the resale price at all with these things?
It's really interesting because I guess all of those things are valuable
Mm.
to a perspective, well, someone looking at buying one. But the most important thing is it's quite simple. It's taking pictures, like the pictures of a car
Mm.
after it's been washed. And if yours is ceramic coated, it would look pretty nice compared to some of the ones that haven't been, and the blue stands out anyway.
Mm.
Um, if you take photos on a sunny day, let's say you do it close to a beach where you can see sort of water in the background, you'd be surprised at buyers' psychology as to how much more value they consider that car to have, just because the pictures look nice and it's sort of love at first sight, if you may want to call it that. Like if someone really likes the car, there's so much interest in it because the pictures are taken in good lighting. It's a
Mm.
sunny day. Whether there's water in the background or if you're doing it somewhere in the hills, it's that adds a lot more value, and it just attracts people. You only have a look at real estate, right? Like
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah.
the block. So that's probably the most important thing. And your car is ceramic coated, it looks gorgeous as it is.
Okay. Well, that's fascinating to know, actually. You obviously see a variety of different types of photography on these, like car sales or whatever. And yeah, like if good photography helps, then yeah, certainly would be investing in taking some decent photos for sure. Really good to know, actually. Let's look at the third slide now. So you've got here, this is sort of more generic kind of trend between a Model S and a BMW 530D, which I assume are of similar price. And you've shown us that the Model S clearly has a better resale value, and that's based on a couple of examples, I guess, from each category. Just walk us through that there.
Yeah, so for this particular analysis, I looked at 5 cars, 5 Model S's, and 5 Series or 530Ds from BMW. All of them were blue for the Model S and gray for BMWs. And the price so these are the average kilometers and the average prices being paid for those cars. And you can sort of tell that with the BMWs, the average sort of kilometers in New South Wales that we looked at were lower than Tesla's kilometers when they were being sold. So obviously people are keeping these cars or driving them longer because they enjoy them so much. That's one of the reasons. And also it happens to be that, even though it had lower kilometers on average, the price is, quite significantly lower when it comes to sort of the final resale price in 2021 for these cars. So I think one of the trends that we were looking at is the price difference when it comes to purchasing is minimal for that sort of, you'd consider a Model S to compared to 5 Series or a E-Class Mercedes. But when it comes to selling them, there's firstly, there's so many more of the BMWs on the road, but at the same time, they just don't have the same following, and particularly like people want to drive a Tesla. Very few people buy BMW 5 Series secondhand because they are worried about things going wrong. And when things go wrong, things go with ICE cars, or in this case, diesel cars. They do go wrong, and it's very expensive. Where Model S, even with some of the owner reviews that we've analyzed, people are genuinely very happy. We've seen 20 cars from 2014, particularly Australia. I think these were delivered in the US. So some of the data we looked at for one of our research projects in the US as well, people that took deliveries in 2014 a lot of them still have their cars, and very little has gone wrong with them, apart from charging takes a little bit longer for some of them. But apart from that, they're all very happy with a car that's nearly 7 years old now.
Okay. And despite the fact that there's almost no more battery warranty, within 7 years.
Yeah, and people don't have that concern because I guess they've lived with it for 7 years or nearly 8 years when the battery warranty runs out.
Yeah.
So yeah, people don't have that issue. I guess it's the same thing. The wear and tear on the battery is not as much as it would be in the thousands of parts that are moving in an ICE engine.
Yeah.
And I guess people just love Teslas.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, I mean, let me see the. Well, first of all, let's ask. I want to ask you, Riz. Like, given my situation, if you had both my cars, which car would you sell ahead of Model Y coming?
I think I'd have to agree with your wife on the fact that the Model
that.
S, the Model S, just the market's hot. I think once the supply starts to come in for the Model S, the values will probably drop a bit more. At the moment, people are concerned around when and if they'll ever get a new Tesla. So they may, just to experience it, they may end up purchasing a second-hand one. And there's not a lot of stock up for sale. If you look at car sales, there's, I think a few dozen cars up for sale Australia-wide.
Wow. For Model S.
So yeah, of particularly the 2015 to 2018 Model S's, there's not many around at all.
Yep.
So if I was sort of looking at selling one of them, Model 3 is newer, more warranty, less can go wrong, it's quick, bigger battery. I understand you do sort of lose your supercharging or free supercharging, but at the same time, if you're going to see a new Model Y a lot earlier than the Model S in itself, and then it's less things, sort of a bit more peace of mind, knowing that you've got a new car compared to, I guess, driving an older car, which is still quite reliable. Are you
given
having
the
any
choice.
issues with? Yeah. Are you having any issues with the Model S at the moment?
Honestly, no. Like I said, apart from the fact that the charging is slower, but only because I've been supercharging it lately. But like honestly, with the home charging, no. Like it's pretty much the same. So yeah, day-to-day running, it's been a great car. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Let's see if anyone has any questions for Riz before I let him go. Let's see if there's any comments here that I can put on and help discuss. Have you been looking at prices in the US? Is that true? That's been increasing up there?
Yes. So for new cars, so new Teslas, between the beginning of October and I think it was 7th or 8th of November, they've had a $5,000 price increase on the Model 3, as well as I think $3,000 on the Model Y, just within 6 weeks. Recently, prices in China have also gone up on their Model 3s. And Canada has also had a price increase only a couple of days ago. So they are starting to go up everywhere else. And that's one of the reasons why I thought, when I was looking in the beginning of October to secure an SR Plus and I could get one in under a week, I thought, well, there's nothing to lose.
Yep. Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't increase too much more here. But given it's going up around the world, we might have to wear it possibly. Now Greg's saying that these graphs are interesting, but there've been 12,000 Model 3s this year. Surely the demand for the sedan is dropping. I guess he's referring to Model S. But as you said before, there's still a demand for that higher end S over the 3.
Yeah, I think that the Model S is, because there's very few of them. There is another chart that maybe it's something for future live streams where we've broken it down. And I think in the deliveries we've had in the last 12 months or so, we found that there was only about 1.5% of Model S and 1.5% of Model X deliveries. The rest of them were Model 3s. So you're spot on, Greg, that there is this increase in supply, and particularly Model 3s, because that's what people want and a lot of people can afford. But people still have, like, Model S was the original Tesla. That's, people have that nostalgic feeling of it. And if they missed out or they couldn't afford one when it came out brand new, maybe now's the time for them to experience what that car was all about.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'm sure there's someone out there. Yeah, actually, this is a good question from Dennis, which I wanted to know. Do like cars like the Unicorn SR Plus that just got delivered, do they affect trade-in prices later on down the track? Like, do people know this is a Unicorn vehicle, or do they care? Or
I see that. Very good question, Dennis, because I know on the forums and on Facebook groups, that's what, and obviously on the Ludicrous Feed live streams, we've spoken a bit about the Unicorns. They probably will fetch a higher price down the track in the secondhand market, but I guess the market is changing so quickly. Like, if Tesla decided to increase the prices in Australia and they kept them like that in the next 12 months, then yeah, definitely the price of a Unicorn would be higher, because you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the quick acceleration, you're getting the bigger battery, And yeah, it's the and some of the other features, like as we've spoken about, heated steering wheel and the rear seats as well. So yeah, I still feel the Model 3 SR is the best value car you can buy. If you can get a hold of one in under 12 weeks, it's the best value car that you can buy, as well as a car that you can actually get in under 3 months.
Yeah, good point.
So yeah,
For
good
resale as
values
well.
future.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of Unicorn, I just want to quickly shout out to Tim to say thank you for the support there, $20. That's awesome. And looks like he's got his delivery confirmed 1st of December. That's great. And it'll be available on that website if you want to hire us. That's good. Thanks, Tim. That's great to hear. Congratulations. I've got, let's see, any more comments? Gaffer's saying wants to keep his forever. That's what I said about my S. Hopefully you get to do that, Gaffer. Join the Robo taxi fleet one day. That's awesome. Yeah, and Greg's saying the new S will be around 180,000 for the base. Yeah, it's a lot of money. Big jump from 140. Yeah, for sure.
And that's probably another reason what would, thanks for sharing that, Greg, because I haven't kept an eye out on the new Model S prices. If there's a price increase on them, then yeah, it just makes it puts people off. So they may get one, under $100,000 and be able to drive around with it rather than waiting for one in potentially later 2022 or early 2023 for around 180,000. Spend half that and buy a Tesla Tom's one.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right. Now, Riz, before I let you go, I'll just go through today's poll. So we've had 83 votes so far. And the question today was, what should I do before I eventually buy a Model Y? And 57% of you, so a majority of you, are saying sell the Model S. So they agree with Riz. And 18% are saying sell Model 3. 10% are saying sell both. And 16% are saying don't sell either. Yeah. So it looks like most of you are saying sell the S. And look, I've got certainly a lot of sentimentality for the S because that is obviously my first EV. And I think I did say up to 6 months ago I wanted to keep it forever. But I think Joy is saying she might buy a blue Model Y just to make me feel better. So we shall see. Just to keep the blue theme going. All right, Riz, well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for this fantastic information. It's been very good, actually, seeing all this data and a lot of food for thought, and certainly will help not only myself, but others who are either thinking about selling a Tesla or even buying a secondhand to know what data is out there. So thank you so much for joining us.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me, Tom, and thanks to all your viewers.
No worries. And if people want to get in touch with you, do they just go to carloop.com.au for more information?
Yep. For more information, or if you guys want to know anything about pricing, trends, or just interested, you can also reach me at riz@carloop.com.au.
There you go. I'll put that web link again for guys and girls who want to go there and have a look at that. Oh, Riz, thanks so much for joining us. I'll let you go. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Riz. Cheers. All right. Well, that was Riz Akhtar, one of our members there, and also, like I said, founder of carloop.com.au. Fantastic website. As he said before, he has got a lot of data from lots of sources, and he's able to basically get information on Teslas and EVs, look at their resale value, and look at the trends as well. So that's really good to know. So thank you, Riz. That was a fantastic discussion there. All right, everyone. So we're just up to the hour mark, and I have basically got the information that I wanted out of all of you, and with the poll, 85 votes, and as I said before, a lot of you were saying to sell the Model S. Very sad from my point of view, but I just got to follow, not my heart this time, but maybe follow my head and what people are saying, and to get rid of the S. And I'm probably going to put it up on one of the secondhand websites, I guess. Get some good photos, as Riz recommended. That's going to get a better price. And as to when I do it, I'm still not sure at this stage. But yeah, maybe I'll probably just wait a bit longer to see when the Y order page drops, and do it then, I think. I think, as you know, Riz sort of comforted me saying that there's probably still demand for a pre-facelift S, given the prices are so high for new S's. So that was also made clear by one of our other viewers as well. So that's good. I'll leave the poll on for another couple more minutes before I close it. Again, what should I do with my cars before I eventually buy Tesla Model Y? There we go. Beheaded says, if it were a 2018 plus Model S, I don't think the poll result would be the same. You're probably right. I think it'd be pretty much half and half there for the S and the 3, or at least closer to 50-50 for sure. Yeah, and if you're watching, not live, but if you're watching on replay, maybe give me some suggestions as to what I should do if I do sell the S early. Do I hire another car, or yeah, I guess that's the other option. The other dilemma, I don't know what to do. I need a car for the next 6 months before thingy comes, before Model Y comes. Yes, and Greg says there was an option for dual chargers for the pre-facelift ones, which I don't have. I've just got the single charger. Charges at 11 kilowatts. Yep. Oh, here we go. When it comes to cars, follow your heart more than your brain. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe in the long term, hey? Maybe in the long term. Good comment there. Thank you. Alrighty, everyone. That might be it for me. I think that might be it for me tonight. So 89 votes. I might just shut it just here. Here we go. Shut that poll. But yeah, majority of you are saying sell the Model S, indeed. Alrighty, well, 82 viewers. Thank you very much. 83 viewers at the end of the stream. It's good to have you all on, and thank you for helping me make that decision. It's good to know. And thank you for people who've become new members tonight, and also super chat comments. Yeah, Gaffer's got a question without notice. My Model 3 is currently in the shop. Yes, we know Gaffer posted some pictures on Twitter. Had a bit of a mishap. Anyone have any idea of wait times for panel fix repaint? Yep, maybe someone can help Gaffer out there with the questions. And he's waiting on the mirror as well. Yep. All right, everyone. That's it from me tonight. Let's put the outro out. And here we go. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope you all have a fantastic week coming up. And yeah, some lots of soul searching and thinking to do with regards to what to do with the Model S in the next few months. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. Have a great rest of this week, and I'll see you at the very next live stream. All right. Take care, and as always, happy charging.